He was one man who brought the world to war. One voice that turned fear into fanaticism. One name that echoes through the darkest corridors of history. His name was Adolf Hitler, a name etched into humanity's darkest memory. He wasn't born a tyrant. He was a dreamer, a soldier, an outsider, but thorough chaos, charisma, and cruelty. He climbed to power and led the world into one of its greatest nightmares. This is the story of Adolf Hitler, from obscurity to absolute power. Adolf Hitler was born in 1888 in a quiet Austrian town called Braunau am Inn. His father was strict, his mother gentle. As a child, he was often moody, withdrawn, and obsessed with Germany. Despite being Austrian, that he dreamed of becoming an artist. But those dreams were crushed when he was rejected not once, but twice from the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. Alone and drifting, he began blaming others for his failures, and he found his voice in extreme nationalism and hatred. When World War I broke out, Hitler enlisted. He served on the Western Front, delivering messages across no man's land, often under heavy fire. He was wounded, decorated, and praised for bravery. But when Germany surrendered, he didn't take it as peace. He saw it as betrayal, and that bitterness stayed with him. In the aftermath of war, Germany was struggling, and that's where Hitler found his stage. He joined the German Workers' Party, a fringe nationalist group. His voice was loud, angry, persuasive. Soon, he transformed the party into what the world would come to know as the Nazi Party. In 1923, he attempted a coup in Munich, the beer hall putsch. It failed, he was arrested, and in prison, he wrote Mein Kampf, a chilling manifesto that outlined his plans for Germany and for the Jews. As the world fell into the Great Depression, Hitler's promises of revival gave people hope. In 1933, he became chancellor. That same year, the Reichstag caught fire, and Hitler used fear to convince the government to hand him total power. He banned opposition parties, silenced critics, and turned a fragile democracy into a dictatorship. The Third Reich was born, and Adolf Hitler crowned himself Führer. In 1939, he invaded Poland. World War II had begun. His armies swept across Europe. But it wasn't just conquest he sought. It was extermination. The Holocaust, one of history's most horrifying crimes, was his doing. 6 million Jews and millions more innocent people were murdered in cold, systematic genocide. Entire families erased. Entire communities vanished. And it happened in silence, until the world could no longer ignore the truth. By 1944, Hitler's empire was crumbling. The Allies were closing in. The Soviet Red Army had entered Berlin. In April 1945, in an underground bunker, surrounded by the sound of destruction above, Adolf Hitler took his own life. He left behind a world devastate, but also a world determined never to forget. Adolf Hitler's legacy is not just one of war. It's a story of how hatred spreads, how fear manipulates, and how unchecked power can destroy everything. But it's also a warning that the rise of evil is rarely sudden. It begins slowly, in speeches, in crowds, in silence. And that is why we must learn from the past to protect our future. Thank you for watching this story, as difficult as it is. It's one the world must continue to tell. If you believe in remembering history, if you believe in protecting truth, please like, share, and subscribe. Because only through our aims can we make sure that history never repeats itself.